Hello, Trekkies and Trekkers. Well, time to look at some more episodes of Star Trek Deep Space Nine Season 1 today. So, let's kick things off with The Storyteller. O'Brien and Chief Medical Officer Dr. Bashir are sent on a relief mission to Bajor in response to a medical emergency. Meanwhile, on the station, Sisko plays mediator in a conflict between two rival Bajoran factions negotiating a border dispute. On the station, the leader of one of the factions, Tetrag Varasul, is a 15-year-old girl. She proves unwilling to negotiate, and Sisko is frustrated with her intransigence. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry if I butchered that. Anyway, Nock is captivated by the girl. He and Sisko's son, Jake, introduce themselves to her, and she agrees to spend time with them. She is stressed by the negotiations, but Nock suggests that problems can become opportunities. To cheer her up, the three embark on a prank to steal Security Chief Odo's regeneration bucket. Nock fills the bucket with oatmeal and pretends to trip, covering Jake with the contents. Varys apologizes to Sisko for her involvement in the escapade. They discuss the challenges of leadership, and she eventually agrees to propose a compromise resolution to the border dispute. Good. Anyway, on Bajor, responding to the distress call, Bashir and O'Brien find that a man called the Sierra is dying, and the village leader, Farron, claims that a force called the Dull Rock will destroy the village if the Sierra is not able to fend it off. That night, the Sierra speaks to the entire village as a threatening cloud-like apparition appears in the sky. The Sierra tells a narrative about the village defeating the Dull Rock. It collapses during the speech, but he whispers the rest of the story to O'Brien, who repeats it, and as the villagers cheer, a beam of light seems to make the apparition disappear. By the time the Dull Rock is gone, the Sierra has died, and Farron declares O'Brien to be his successor. The next day, the villagers treat O'Brien like a king. The old Sierra's apprentice, Hovath, attempts to kill O'Brien, declaring himself to be the true Sierra. He reveals that the Dalrog was created to solve the internal strife tearing apart the village, and the villagers must unite in their thoughts to stop it. Hovath has had his chance to lead the village against the Dalrog earlier that week, and failed. That night, O'Brien stands before the village and attempts to tell the story, but the villagers are unmoved by his clumsy narrative, and the Dalrog returns in full force. Hovath takes the stage, and equally tells of a new voice challenging the Dalrog. The villagers follow his lead and defeat the Dalrog, embracing him as their new Sierra, and relieving O'Brien of the post. So, overall, I think that this episode is kind of interesting in a way, and and the two plots of this episode, while not really connected to each other, they're still pretty good nonetheless. So, overall, I give The Storyteller 3 warp cores out of 5. We'll tune in a bit as we take a look at progress. So, until then, live long and prosper, everybody.